Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am Tom Downey. Producer Chris behind the scenes. You'll see him later on in today's show, by the way. First, we do have some recruiting news and updates we'll get into as 2 recruits for the 2026 class have committed. We'll break that down here momentarily, but help make sure everyone knows what's going on with the Tide by sharing today's video on social media. First up, the first 2026 recruit, Jamarrion Gordon, who I'm just going to call Jam. So we got Jam Miller, Jam Gordon. Maybe they overlap. We'll find out there. 4-star safety committed to Bama on Saturday. This was the first of the 2026 commits for Kalen DeBoer, as he picked Alabama over the likes of LSU and Georgia as well. Gordon's recruiting profile, which I always mention for the 2025 recruits, it's the composite. Things change. Extra double, triple true for the 2026 class. And we know how important those junior years are. We're only about to get there. But normally, when you are a 2026 recruit and you're committing over, to Bama over like LSU and others, probably going to be a really good football player, would be my guess, and are a good football player. Number 186 overall, the number 10th ranked player from the state of Alabama, 17th ranked safety, by the way. And here's what Gordon said on his commitment to the Crimson Tide. It came down to how they recruited me. Alabama being Alabama and how close it is to home. I am used to winning and I want to win and have success. At Alabama, I believe I can do those things. I wasn't too high on Bama before the new staff, but they changed it for me. They came in, recruited me hard, and built that relationship with me and my family. We felt good about Alabama, so I went ahead and committed to them. Now, of note, the tweet you're about to see from, I guess Juice Gordon is what we'll call him now instead of Jamarrion. I guess I should have mentioned that one earlier. From Juice Gordon was the commitment announcement, the Roll Tide after, as Dorian Barney was down to 12 schools per Hayes Fawcett, which, of course, Barney's full Hayes Fawcett. Now, Barney liked that tweet. And then on May 18th, he tweets out tomorrow, .. eye emojis, tagging Hayes Fawcett, who, of course, was going to do the whole commitment announcement stuff, as he always does for On3 and others. And then today, Dorian Barney commits to Alabama. So the tea leaves were there. He's liking the tweet, and then he mentions the potential commitment. Always like to see the other guys recruiting players too. I think that's always a good thing there. So Barney also committed today to the Crimson Tide. He's even a higher-rated recruit. 4-star recruit, number 44 overall, the number 4 ranked corner, and the number 9 player from the state of Georgia. Because I do think this matters, by the way, as we run through all these different players that have committed and haven't committed, etc. Notable recruits, 9 total, from Bama and Georgia. Now, these are commits, things can change, whatever. Daryl Johnson, Jaden Harmon, Luke Metz, Dorian Barney, all from the state of Georgia. Derek Smith, Anthony Rogers, Antonio Coleman, Miles Johnson, and now Juice Gordon in 2026. All players from Georgia and Bama that have committed to the Crimson Tide already, and there will probably be more. If you had concerns, which I think were to an extent valid of having the question of it at least, not saying he couldn't do it, but hey, can Kalen DeBoer show he can recruit the South? I think so far the answer's been yeah. He's shown he's able to do it. So are you excited for the Kalen DeBoer era? Spam RTR for me in the comment section of today's show if you are. If the ad comes on YouTube, perfect timing. Take advantage of it. Head down to that pinned comment and go do it. More recruiting updates here, this time on Michael Carroll. His top 4 has been released. That's the 4-star interior offensive lineman. Bama, Georgia, Michigan, and Penn State. So 2 SEC schools, 2 Big Ten schools in there. He's taken visits to all those programs the next month-ish. Georgia, May 31st. Bama, July 7th. Michigan, July 14th. And Penn State ends up happening there on the 21st. We'll get to more on him here in just a moment. But if you're trying to find the new NFL jersey for your favorite, now former Bama football player, they've got you covered over at Fanatics. The rookie jersey class for all the different Alabama football players is now available. The placeholder numbers you'll see, 1 or 00, or if it's announced officially by the NFL. Sometimes that happens after it's actually announced, but you know how the paperwork is and whatever. Dallas Turner's 15 jersey, Kool-Aid McKinstry, you can get him. All the Alabama draft picks are available over on Fanatics. So go to chatsports.com/NFL jersey. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. That's chatsports.com/NFL. Just search or sort to find the Bama player now in the NFL that you want. So Carroll is the number 11th ranked interior offensive lineman, 216 overall. He is a top 10 player in the state of Pennsylvania, by the way, hence some obvious interest there for the Nittany Lions. However, Steve Wiltfong of On3 indicating that Bama has the slight lead right now, saying, quote, I also get the sense Bama has the slight lead going into official visits for offensive lineman Michael Carroll. Michigan, Penn State, Georgia round out Carroll's top 4, but the standard in Tuscaloosa and the relationships he's already built with guys like Alabama offensive lineman Tyler Booker has put the Crimson Tide in strong standing. I view Michigan as the biggest challenger. Now, this offensive line class for the Crimson Tide needs some help. They need to get a few more pieces in there, what so many teams do. So will Carroll end up being Bama's first 2025 offensive line commitment? Y for yes or N for no in the comments section. Let's talk Jalen Milroe here for the potential Heisman Trophy. ESPN listing Milroe as the number 4 contender, which, did they do it on purpose, you think? You think they made it 4 on purpose? I don't know. As the number 4 contender to win the Heisman Trophy in this upcoming season. The top contenders will go from 10 to 1 here. Number 10 is Avery Johnson. I love the respect he gets, by the way, because I think he's going to be an underrated player this year, the Kansas State quarterback. Cam Ward, look, if the Hurricanes make some noise, he'll be in the buzz there. 2 Ohio State players, which I think is kind of happens every year. Like, oh, Ohio State, 8 first-round picks. Never happens that way. Whatever. Quinshawn Junkins and Will Howard, who Howard was like, going to lose his job to Avery Johnson, but whatever. Garrett Nussmeier, that's the son of the NFL coach. He's number 7. Jackson Dart, 6. Howard's 5. Milroe, 4. Behind only Dylan Gabriel, Quinn Ewers, and Carson Beck. Now, of note, no Shadur Sanders in there, which I am semi-intrigued by. You got the funny angle of, hey, you know, Milroe lost to Quinn Ewers and Bama lost to Texas, but they also beat Beck and George in the SEC championship game. The numbers last year, as a passer, Beck had more success. Higher passer rating, higher completion percentage, more passing yards as well. The total touchdowns, though, and rushing yards do favor Jalen Milroe. We do know overall that the Heisman Trophy is in part a wins award. You're not going to win the Heisman Trophy as good as you are if your team wins 6 games. You got to be in the college football playoff this year, if not more than that, maybe even win your conference and championship game, etc., if you're going to win the Heisman more often than not. We will bring on producer Chris here momentarily for some of his thoughts as well, and I guess soon to be host Chris as well. Who's better, though? JM for Jalen Milroe or CB for Carson Beck? Go vote in the comments section. All right, Chris, I think I know who you're going with. It's Milroe, isn't it?
I'm absolutely going with Jalen Milroe here. I think what it comes down to is this new system under Kalen DeBoer. I think last year with Tommy Rees, it was just very cookie cutter. I think Tommy Rees in particular was calling an offense for him, for if he was playing quarterback again. I think this year, last year you saw how many actual read options or even just straight up, quarterback draw right up the middle or having somebody lead block like over to the left or right side off the end. I think Jalen Milroe is going to be able to, we know he's going to be able to throw the deep ball this year. Mm-hmm. Did last year very well. It's getting better in that intermediate passing area, which I think with this offense he's going to be able to do, as well as just having those designed run plays, let him get out. I think if he can throw for 4,000 yards this year, run for, 700-800 yards?
That's a Heisman winner.
Yeah, that's a Heisman winner. You keep the interceptions down to about 6, 40 touchdowns. I think he absolutely wins the Heisman. If he could put up those kinds of numbers.
That's a high bar. It's a high bar, though.
I think he can do it, though. It's an extra season. It's an extra off season. It's a better offense for a quarterback like him. So I think he should be up there 1 or 2, honestly, in those Heisman rankings.
Yeah. You'll be seeing more of, I guess it's just host Chris, as we move forward here. Had another person here on the Chat Sports staff, allowing Chris to do even more Alabama football videos and watch parties this season as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed. We'll have a watch party for every single game this year for the Crimson Tide, and there will be more and more videos of just Chris as the host, since he is, after all, the Alabama alumnus. Hit that sub button at youtube.com/@RollTideTV.